Often when we think about being out in the garden and things growing, we think about beautiful warm weather. But even in the heart of a New Zealand winter, your garden doesn't have to go into hibernation. In this video, I'm going to show you 5 crops that I'm growing right now, and you can as well, to get the most out of your winter garden. So let's dig into it. First up are leafy greens. Things like lettuce, spinach, kale and silver beet all thrive in cold weather. Now, as you can see here, I'm growing some lettuce because we love a good salad, but I know that's not everyone's cup of tea right in the middle of winter, so that's okay. But spinach and silver beet are a great addition to home cooked meals. You can incorporate them into just about any dish. While most leafy greens do fine being directly sown outside, if frosts in your area are particularly harsh or you're just wanting to speed things along, you may like to consider starting your seeds indoors. Now, there's no trouble with doing this. You can do it on a windowsill, but just be sure that if you are going to start your seeds indoors, to harden your plants off before bringing them outside full time. Otherwise, they may not survive the transition because the difference between environments is so different. One challenge I'm battling with at the moment is pest pressure. I've had birds just coming in and stripping away all of the leaves off my seedlings. This is why we've decided to put the tunnel house lid on and this bird netting up, so fingers crossed it'll give my lettuce seedlings a chance to thrive. Brassicas like broccoli and cauliflower are another great crop to grow in winter. Planting this time of year allows them to establish a good root system before spring growth. These do well being directly sown into your garden. Just be sure to give them enough room to grow so they're not competing for nutrients, about 50 centimeters apart. Otherwise, if you're like me and you put a few too many seeds in a small area, once they come up you can simply transplant them to a new area or remove any unwanted starts. Here I'm growing some cauliflowers and they're spaced out only a few centimeters apart, but I will be transplanting them very shortly to another garden bed and spacing them out properly. If you're new to growing brassicas, be sure to watch out for cabbage moth caterpillars. Even in the winter time, they can still sneak in warmer spells. Using a simple net like I have, or even incorporating some companion planting into your gardening can really make a difference. Now, here behind these little cauliflower seedlings, you can see that I'm growing peas. Peas are another cold-loving plant. They can survive heavy frosts and even temperatures down as low as -17 degrees Celsius or 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Peas are climbers, so be sure to give them a trellis or some sort of structure to climb up. As you can see here, I've just got mine up against the fence and they're just starting to grab on and climb up. Planting peas in the winter ensures an early spring harvest. When you first sow the seeds, it's a good idea to cover with some sort of netting to stop pests like birds and rats from eating the seeds before they even have a chance to sprout. One thing I love about peas is how little maintenance they need once they start climbing. There are so many different types of peas to grow. We like growing things like sugar snap peas that are great for eating fresh. If you'd like a constant supply of peas rather than one big harvest, you could try succession planting peas every few weeks so that you have a constant supply. If you're enjoying this video so far, please consider subscribing and give this video a thumbs up so that it can reach more people. And I would love to know, what are you growing in your garden at the moment? Comment down below. Let's get back to the video. For another early spring harvest, you could consider growing carrots. Sowing your carrots in the winter and having them grow through the cold, frosty period will produce beautiful, sweet carrots. Just be sure to sow them in a sunny spot about 2 centimeters deep in loose soil, and make sure to keep the soil consistently moist through the germination period. Once they're about 5 to 10 centimeters or 2 to 4 inches tall, you can go ahead and thin them out to make sure they've got enough room to grow nice and big. Now, if your soil is clay heavy, you might like to consider mixing in some compost or even some sand to loosen up that soil to help them grow. And if you're putting manure in your garden, just be sure to not plant the carrots straight away because it can cause the carrots to fork. If you want to know how I make beautiful compost in only 21 days, I'll link the video above in the cards. The fifth and final thing on my list of things to grow in July in New Zealand is garlic. Now's the perfect time to be getting your garlic in the ground. Garlic needs a long growing season, and winter planting gives it the cold exposure it needs to grow nice fat bulbs. Now, garlic is a crop of patience. It won't be ready until summertime, but the results are so worth it. And once it's planted, it doesn't need much care at all. All I've done is mulch the ground for weeds, and I won't need to do anything else until they're ready to harvest. Now, if you want to know how to plant garlic, click on this video here. Otherwise, YouTube thinks you might like this video. I hope this video inspires you to get outside and get your hands dirty, even in July.